Kia ora, New Zealand. In your bulletin today, the Crown has purchased the site where the CTV building stood until the February earthquake. The Christchurch Central Development Unit has written to families of the victims of the 115 who died at the site to advise them of the recent Crown purchase. The families will continue to be in the loop with future plans for the site. The Green Party is happy with the government. Green MP Gareth Hughes remains hopeful a marine protected area in Antarctic's Ross Sea can become a reality, despite the bid being effectively blocked by Russia at an international conference in Germany. Mr Hughes wants Foreign Minister Murray McCully to continue promoting the scheme.
I support Murray McCully getting active around the world. I think we have to do a special emphasis lobbying Russia, so I support him taking those steps.
A judge has ruled the parole board was right to recall serial sex offender Stuart Murray Wilson back to prison. Wilson's, also known as the Beast of Blenheim, has been living in Wanganui under strict parole conditions when he breached them by contacting a woman via cell phone. Justice Alan McKenzie says the board was right to consider Wilson a risk to the community, despite his lawyers arguing the conditions were so strict he wasn't posing a risk. And the Labour Party reckons there's something fishy about Kiwi fishermen having to learn Russian if they want to work on fishing vessels. MP David Cunliffe is appalled after finding out a company is advertising for crew who can speak and read Russian. He says it's madness and it's shutting Kiwi fishermen out of work in their own backyard.
And that really flies in the face of what I think we all hope for, which is that the fishery sector will be able to employ more young New Zealanders.
To international news, and Panama has stopped a North Korean ship which it claims was trying to illegally sneak sophisticated missile equipment through the Panama Canal. Authorities boarded the ship after suspecting it was carrying drugs. However, their search discovered undeclared weapons of war among a shipment of brown sugar. The president of Panama, Ricardo Martinelli, says the North Korean captain tried to kill himself and violence broke out among the 35-strong crew as the ship was raided. Greenpeace is having a go at the Energy Minister in the form of a giant billboard in central Wellington. It claims that Simon Bridges is being frugal with the truth regarding a meeting he had with Shell while considering laws banning protest at sea. Simon Bridges is laughing off the claim, saying there's no conspiracy and he was not at any time lobbied by Shell or anyone else to change the law. And a change of tact is coming for the Department of Conservation and its policies around 1080 poison. It follows concerns raised about DOC spending more on researching 1080 than actually using it. Minister of Conservation Nick Smith says changes will be made with spending on 1080 monitoring to be cut back instead of 1080 use.
We know it works. Spending a whole lot more reconfirming it works is not best use of taxpayers' money. And that's where I think there is the potential to increase the area that is receiving 1080 control and giving those native species a better chance.
There's been a near-death experience on the International Space Station. European Space Agency astronaut Luca Parmitano was with NASA's Chris Cassidy on his second ever spacewalk. It was supposed to take 6.5 hours, but Parmitano's helmet started filling with water just 1.5 hours into the excursion, and they aborted the spacewalk.
It's hard to tell, but it feels like a lot of water.
NASA says it's never seen a problem like this before. To sports, and former Blackcaps batsman Matthew Sinclair is retiring from his 18-year cricket career. Sinclair is retiring from all forms of the game, ending a career which began in 1995, including 33 tests and 54 one-dayers for New Zealand. And finally tonight, how's this for a mother's love? A Romanian woman has admitted to torching 7 masterpieces, including works by Picasso and Monet, worth over $166 million. She put them in the oven after her son was arrested for their theft earlier this year in a bid to hide the evidence. And that was your news for Wednesday the 17th of July. Ka kite anō.